Well, dear students of 11th class, so we will continue with the equilibrium, and today's topic in this very unit is chemical equilibrium. I would like to remind you first that before this lecture we have learned about physical equilibrium. That means where physical changes take place, equilibrium stage can be achieved. But as far as today's lecture is concerned, today we shall be taking into consideration the chemical equilibrium. That is, we will try to achieve equilibrium in chemical changes. So let us come to today's topic. Now, for chemical equilibrium, what we do, suppose we have a general reaction, say A and B, suppose these are reactants. They combine to form products C and D. These are products. So, to clear the concept of chemical equilibrium, we must keep in mind two things. One, the important two things for achieving chemical equilibrium is that we have to take up only reversible reactions. Chemical reactions which are reversible in nature. So only those reactions are to be taken for clearing the concept of chemical equilibrium which are reversible in nature. So only reversible reactions are to be taken in this very topic. One, the second condition which is very important, that reaction will have to take place in closed containers. So these are two very important conditions for achieving chemical equilibrium. One, we have to deal with only those chemical reactions which are reversible in nature, and the other condition is that reaction will have to take place in only closed containers. So suppose we have A and B as two reactants which have been kept in a closed container. Now suppose they react and form products. Now since the reaction is taking place in a closed container and the reaction is reversible in nature, so what will happen? First A and B will react and they will react to form products. In other words, we can say that when T is equal to 0, that means when the reaction has not taken place, then only T will be equal to 0. So when T is equal to 0, we will find that A and B are there. But with the passage of time, what will we find? That A and B, that is your reactants, they will begin to disappear slowly and gradually, and they will give rise to the formation of products. That means these will appear, that is products will appear. So reactants will disappear and products will appear. So this is how the reaction will take place. Then what will, in other words, in terms of molar concentration, what will happen in the initial stage? The molar concentration of reactants A and B, that will slowly decrease because they have to disappear. So if they have to disappear, their concentration will have to decrease. And as far as the concentration of products is concerned, that will have to increase because they have to appear. So this is how the reaction will take place. Now since the reaction is taking place in a closed containers, what will happen? The C and D, they will again react. They will react and form your A and B. That means in that case the concentration of products will slowly decrease and that of your reactants will increase. So this is how the reaction takes place. Now that is the forward reaction and the backward reaction. They will continue to take place until and unless a stage is reached. A stage will be reached when the concentration of reactants will become equal to the concentration of products. This stage will be reached at some point of time, and at this point of time we will see that the rate of forward reaction will be equal to the rate of backward reaction. F for forward reaction, B for backward reaction. And this stage, this very stage, when the concentration of reactants becomes equal to the concentration of products, or in other words we can say that the concentration becomes constant. It does not change further, or in other words we can also put this thing as this, that the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. That stage will be known as chemical equilibrium. So what is now chemical equilibrium? Chemical equilibrium is a stage in a chemical reaction, in a reversible chemical reaction that has taken place in a closed container, when what happens? The rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction, and that very stage is known as chemical equilibrium. Now, let us take say an example of chemical equilibrium. This is calcium carbonate, and it undergoes decomposition at 1170 Kelvin and decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Now what happens in this case? In the initial stage, that is when T is equal to 0, the concentration of calcium carbonate will be very high. That is, we will find calcium carbonate in the closed container. But when with the passage of time, what will happen to the concentration of this? Its concentration will gradually decrease, and that of products will gradually increase. Now since the reaction is taking place in a closed containers, your calcium oxide and these carbon dioxide, they will again react to give back calcium carbonate, and this process will continue until a stage is reached when the rate of decomposition of calcium carbonate, rate of decomposition of calcium carbonate will become equal to the rate of combination of CaO R plus CO2, or the formation of CaCO3. So this stage will be known as chemical equilibrium. Now this chemical equilibrium can take place in two systems, that is in homogeneous system and in heterogeneous system. Let me first take equilibrium, that is chemical equilibrium. It is chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium in homogeneous system first. First we will take homogeneous system. Now what is this chemical equilibrium? In this chemical equilibrium, we will have to take one thing in mind, that the reactants and the products, they should be in the same phase, homogeneous. Homogeneous means when all the reactants and all the products, they are in the same phase. For example, this is nitrogen combining with hydrogen. Through Haber's process, it forms twice ammonia. This is a reversible reaction, and in this reversible reaction, nitrogen and hydrogen combine, they form ammonia, and ammonia decomposes to form this nitrogen and hydrogen, and ultimately a stage is reached when the rate of formation of ammonia becomes equal to the rate of decomposition of ammonia into nitrogen and hydrogen. Now what happens in this reaction? In this reaction, all the reactants, that is our nitrogen, hydrogen, they are in the same phase, that is in the gaseous phase, and same is the case with product. Product is also in gaseous phase. So what we find in this reaction, that all the reactants and the products, they should be in the same phase and they should be in a state of chemical equilibrium. And then we can say that this is chemical equilibrium in homogeneous system. Let me illustrate one more example in this case. This is H2 hydrogen plus iodine, both gases in a reversible reaction forming another gas, hydrogen iodide. This is gas, gas and gas. So all the reactants and the products, they are in gaseous phase. So this is another example of chemical equilibrium in homogeneous system. Then we have chemical equilibrium in heterogeneous system also. In heterogeneous system, in this very case, what happens? The reactant and products, they are not in the same phase. They are in different phases. For example, decomposition of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, it is in solid state. It decomposes under thermal decomposition at a temperature of 1170 Kelvin and forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Now calcium oxide is in solid state, while as our carbon dioxide is in gaseous state. So what we find, that reactants and products are not in the same phase. Here we have solid, here we have solid, but we have a gas here, a different phase. So such a case in which the reactants and the products are in different phases, such a case is known as chemical equilibrium in heterogeneous system. This is a typical example of chemical equilibrium in heterogeneous system. So what happens in heterogeneous system? In this system, the reactants and products in a chemical reaction, in a reversible reaction, or in different phases. For example, in this case, the reactant is in solid state, while as the two products, one of them is now in the solid state, but the other is in different phase, that is in gaseous phase. Now coming to characteristics of chemical equilibrium. Characteristics. Characteristics of chemical equilibrium. Equilibrium. Now, as far as the characteristics of chemical equilibrium are concerned, in this very equilibrium, the observable properties, like pressure, concentration, etc., these are observable properties. The observable properties of the reversible reaction are constant. That is, they remain constant in chemical equilibrium. So this is one of the characteristics. In other words, we can say that and they remain unchanged. When they remain unchanged, that means they are constant. The observable properties remain unchanged, they remain constant. So this is one characteristic of chemical equilibrium. Then the equilibrium, that is chemical equilibrium, it is obtained. This equilibrium, that is chemical equilibrium is obtained only in closed containers. Only in closed containers. Chemical equilibrium cannot be achieved in an open container. It is always obtained in a closed container where a reversible reaction takes place and a chemical equilibrium is achieved. Then this chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Now what does this mean? That chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Dynamic means when rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction, that at that very stage we can say that the chemical equilibrium is of dynamic nature. So chemical equilibrium is dynamic in nature. That means in this equilibrium the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Then if we make use of a catalyst, the question is whether a catalyst can change the chemical equilibrium, and the answer is a big no. That is, a catalyst cannot alter means change. A catalyst cannot alter the equilibrium constant. That is, your catalyst cannot disturb this stage. It cannot alter the equilibrium, that is chemical equilibrium. It has no role to play. Catalyst cannot play any role in disturbing the chemical equilibrium. And the most important point, the last point, in chemical equilibrium, the change in free energy is constant. That is, there is no change in Gibbs free energy, or it also means that delta G, change in Gibbs free energy, is equal to 0. That is no change. So these are some of the characteristics of chemical equilibrium, and that is all for today. Thank you very much.